Have you ever heard of miracles? Miracles are these amazing events. They're so incredible that we know only God could have done them. The Bible tells us about a very special person named Jesus. He performed many miracles. He healed the sick and helped people in need. Jesus showed the world God's love and power. These stories are not just old tales. They are filled with wonder and awe. They teach us about Jesus and the love he has for each of us. Let's journey together through some of Jesus' most remarkable miracles. Get ready to be amazed. Imagine you're at a wedding party. Music is playing, people are dancing and laughing. Suddenly there's a problem. They have run out of wine. What a disaster. This is where Jesus performed his first miracle. This happened in a town called Cana. Mary, Jesus' mother, was worried. She told Jesus about the problem. Jesus asked the servants to fill 6 large stone jars with water. Can you believe what happened next? He turned the water into wine. It was the best wine anyone had ever tasted. The wedding celebration continued with joy and laughter. This miracle was a sign. It showed that Jesus had the power to do amazing things. It also showed his compassion. He cared about the happiness of others. One day, a large crowd followed Jesus to a remote hillside. They were hungry after listening to him teach for a long time. There was very little food, only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. It was a young boy's lunch. Jesus took the bread and fish in his hands. He looked up to heaven and gave thanks. Then he broke the food into pieces and gave it to his disciples. Amazingly, the food multiplied right before their eyes. It was enough to feed everyone, with baskets full of leftovers. This miracle, the feeding of the 5,000, showed Jesus' power over nature. It also revealed his heart of generosity. He cared for the physical needs of the people, just as he cared for their souls. Have you ever been scared in a storm? One day, Jesus and his disciples were in a boat on the Sea of Galilee. Suddenly, a fierce storm arose. The wind howled, waves crashed over the boat. The disciples were terrified, but Jesus was asleep in the back of the boat. The disciples woke him up crying, "Lord, save us, we're going to drown." Jesus stood up and commanded the wind and the waves to be still. And just like that, the storm vanished. There was a great calm. Even the wind and waves obeyed him. This miracle showed Jesus' power over nature's fury. He had the power to calm not only the storms outside, but also the storms within our hearts. He is our refuge and strength, always there to bring peace. Section 5. Sight for the blind, a touch of healing. Can you imagine not being able to see? One day Jesus met a man who had been blind since birth. The man had never seen the beauty of the world. Jesus felt compassion for him. He mixed mud with his own saliva and applied it to the blind man's eyes. Then he told the man to go and wash in the pool of Siloam. The man obeyed and came back seeing. He could finally see the world, all thanks to Jesus' healing touch. This miracle revealed Jesus' desire to heal our brokenness. He sees the pain and suffering in our lives. He wants to open our eyes to the truth and bring us out of darkness into his marvelous light. Section 6. Free from demons, Jesus' power over evil. Sometimes people can be troubled by bad influences. These are like invisible forces that try to lead us astray. One day Jesus met a man who was tormented by such forces. He was possessed by demons that caused him great suffering. The man lived among the tombs, crying out and cutting himself with stones. People were afraid of him, but Jesus wasn't afraid. He spoke to the demons with authority and commanded them to leave the man alone. The demons obeyed, and the man was set free from their torment. He was finally at peace. This miracle showed Jesus' power over evil. He has the power to break the chains of anything that binds us. He can set us free from our fears and give us hope for a brighter future. Section 7. The barren fig tree, a lesson in faith. One day Jesus was hungry. He saw a fig tree in the distance and went to see if it had any fruit. But when he got closer, he found that the tree was barren. It had leaves, but no figs. Jesus cursed the tree, saying, "May no one ever eat fruit from you again." The next day, the disciples were amazed to see that the fig tree had withered away. What happened? This miracle wasn't just about a tree, it was a lesson about faith. The fig tree represented people who appear religious on the outside but lack true faith on the inside. Jesus taught that true faith produces good fruit, acts of love, kindness, and compassion. Section 8. Lazarus lives again, a victory over death. Death is something that makes everyone sad. One day Jesus received news that his friend Lazarus was very sick. By the time Jesus arrived in Bethany, Lazarus had already died and been buried in a tomb for 4 days. Jesus went to the tomb and commanded the stone to be rolled away. He cried out in a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out!" To everyone's astonishment, Lazarus walked out of the tomb, alive and well. This miracle, perhaps the most dramatic of all, showed Jesus' power over death. He is the resurrection and the life. He offers hope for eternal life to all who believe in him. Section 9. Conclusion: Faith, Hope, and the Love of Jesus. The miracles of Jesus are more than just amazing stories. They are powerful reminders of God's love for us. They teach us that anything is possible with God. They give us hope when we face difficult times. When we read about Jesus healing the sick, calming the storm, and even raising the dead, we see the depth of his compassion and the limitless nature of his power. These miracles inspire us to believe in him, to trust in his love, and to share his message of hope with the world. Remember, just like he moves stones and calms storms, Jesus can move mountains in your life too. All it takes is faith, even as small as a mustard seed, and you can witness the miraculous power of Jesus in your own life.